What is going on, guys? Mobile carrier news here, and AT&T takes the top spot for 5G speeds, and it beats out Verizon and T-Mobile. Now, I honestly did expect this because currently AT&T is the fastest carrier for 5G. Don't get me wrong, Verizon and T-Mobile are pretty fast as well. It depends on, city, state, country, towns, etc. It all depends on the speed test. But AT&T at the moment tops off 5G and its speeds for everything. I do believe AT&T has been rapidly focusing on their 5G plus and regular 5G. I don't know why they call it 5G plus. I guess that's their millimeter wave for 5G. They've been really increasing it over the second quarter, and they've been focusing more now that they're focusing less on cable and television. I'm glad they still keep cable and television as their other source of income, because if it was just wireless, if it tanks, then it's just going to be a problem. That's why I like how AT&T has multiple sources for their income. They have business, they have wireless, they have all these other assets that they just invest on a daily basis, and AT&T tops it off. So I really like what they do here when they top off 5G. Obviously, they still got a long way to go, but right now they do top off for fast 5G. They are it was a very close race for T-Mobile and AT&T. Like AT&T, obviously won. So that basically proves that T-Mobile is also working on their 5G network. The fact that they literally almost caught up to AT&T and almost won, but AT&T won the top spot, says to me that AT&T is not playing around. They're actually taking their 5G seriously and plan to invest more into their service. Obviously, 5G is still very new to the world, especially the United States. So we'll see how that goes on till the future. So I'm going to scroll down here. Scroll down. Where was I going to say? And as for T-Mobile, I got some news for T-Mobile. T-Mobile, they go for availability, taking the top spot. Now, availability saying, I'm pretty sure they're basically saying they have higher markets because, as you all know, T-Mobile has pretty fast 5G. And they also have slightly better 5G coverage. Their 5G is honestly more expanded than Verizon and AT&T combined at the moment. But we'll see how that improves when T-Mobile reveals their millimeter wave, aka ultra capacity, and also Verizon and AT&T are also going to release their C-band. So it's basically C-band versus ultra capacity for all carriers. This should be interesting how this plays out. By late December 2022, I expect to see huge increases in speeds, coverage, and performance. And Verizon won for the most reliability. Now, that's a no-brainer because Verizon has always been the most reliable. I'm not saying AT&T and T-Mobile are reliable as well. It just honestly depends on the state and location. All areas do have coverage, but it just varies on some areas. If you're in a town that's pretty deserted, you either have a chance of AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile. It honestly just depends on how they're upgrading their service, how the service performs well, what range you get with that service depends on. I think it also depends on phone and device, but if you have the latest phone, you should be good. Honestly, it also depends how the service is and how each carrier is expanding their coverage. Now, in my area, Verizon hasn't been expanding that well. I've noticed T-Mobile's expanding much quicker. But like I said, that's because T-Mobile has more 5G. T-Mobile came out with 5G first in December 2019. They first turned it on. And I think before the merger, they had a lot of 5G, apparently. So that basically tells me that T-Mobile was tired of being last about a year ago. And they wanted to be, first place for once. I don't blame them, because if I was Sprint or AT&T, I want to be first place as well. Now, Verizon is focusing coverage in my area, but they're doing it in slow performance. I can't really blame them because they are focusing on their 5G, and I wouldn't say neither carrier is last to 5G. I would say they're kind of tied, not really. They're somewhat tied, although some carriers take the place. Availability, T-Mobile. AT&T, speeds. Verizon, reliability. In the next 4 years, we should see which carrier will take on all three: reliability, availability, and speeds. Because 5G is very new, we don't know which carrier will also honestly take it. I am hearing speculation that AT&T might take it because their network is the fastest, and they're the second best in coverage. So I will be very surprised if that occurs, So we're scrolling down here. 5G is becoming more widespread. Speeds are honestly getting faster, and honestly, that is true. People demand more for their service, and there's high demand more than ever. Even though people use Wi-Fi 50% of the time, 5G will always be expanding. People will want more. They're gonna want faster speeds, unlimited data. That honestly talks to Verizon because they need to release a new unlimited data plan. But so far, AT&T is doing a pretty good job. T-Mobile is, I don't want to say it's a first, second, and last place. I'm just saying each carrier tops off each category. AT&T speeds, T-Mobile availability, and Verizon reliability. That's what Verizon has. We should honestly see how each carrier tops everything off. And honestly, I'm very excited for the next news coming up for 5G. As soon as C-band comes out, I'm sure Verizon will be expanding their coverage. They'll be adding more 5G, more cell sites, more macros. The same thing with AT&T when C-band is deployed. And once T-Mobile has already deployed ultra capacity. They just have to expand their network when the whole Sprint and T-Mobile merger is finished. Because they still need to take down Sprint LTE, and they need to take down 3G. It's going to take some time. So what do you guys think about this? All have their own category on reliability, availability, and speeds. What do you think will be the top notch in this? Right now, AT&T is top notch for speed, and T-Mobile availability, Verizon reliability. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.